Yeah, I guess it all got started when my mother and my stepfather encouraged me to take up guitar, get guitar lessons. Because, Dad had a musical history. It was in the blood, perhaps. So I agreed begrudgingly. I didn't really want to learn guitar. I was 7 at the time. And so I did lessons for a little while, and I didn't really want to continue, but my stepfather said, look, if you stick him out for 3 months, you can have my guitar. I thought, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. So I stuck him out for 3 months and quit. At the 3-month point, got the guitar, never continued with the lessons, but the guitar kind of followed me around because we moved states, we moved countries, and wherever I went, it followed me. It was always there in the corner of my room. Yeah, so my mum and dad split when I was quite young, about 7, and her new partner, he had a job in Singapore, so we moved to Singapore, and that's where I really delved into the Beatles. My mum and stepfather took me to the market to keep me occupied. They got me a Walkman and the full collection of the Beatles on tape, so I walked around all day listening to the Beatles, just soaking them up. And then we moved to England after that, and I still hadn't started playing guitar, though I did love the Beatles. And I was about 15 when I went to the record collection in the house we were renting. The people had left all their stuff in there. And I was just rifling through the records, and I discovered Big Bill Broonzy on a little vinyl single. Must have been from the 50s. And, with a torn and frayed cover. I just put it on for the hell of it. I'd never heard of Big Bill Broonzy. And I had the headphones on, and it was probably good that I had the headphones on because it just pierced my soul, this man and his guitar. I was just floored by the emotion he could convey and the feeling. And I was going through a hard time at the time. Anyway, that's when I realized that that's what I had to do.
Tell me how you got your first guitar.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. My stepfather had bought me a samurai sword because I was heavily into kung fu at about 14, 15. Actually, it was jiu-jitsu, different country. Anyway, this samurai sword I brought over with me from England when I moved back to Australia. And it was my intent to use this samurai sword to get the money to buy my first guitar. And I sold the samurai sword, and yeah.
Sounds like Kill Bill.
It does. I bought my first guitar with it, with the money.
Let's see the guitar.
No, that's dead. That broke in half.
Okay.
It was, when that died, it prompted me to get my first real guitar. That one wasn't very good.
Right.
Yeah, my dream was to get a Fender Strat. It's this one up here. This is the first real guitar I bought.
Nice. Wow, it's been pretty heavily sanded back, huh?
Yeah, it was black. It started flaking off. And that's when I discovered it was this color underneath. So I just, sanded the rest of the black off. I didn't go all the way, obviously, but yeah.
Can I hear it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's do it.
Just got to watch it doesn't peak out, isn't it? That's in tune enough for rock and roll. So anyway, I was teaching myself guitar. Dad had taught me, the few things that he knew on the guitar. He knew some great stuff, but, I needed more. I wanted a blues mentor, Anyway, went to this gig with my stepmom, and it was to see Leo Kottke, and the opening act was a guy called Chris Finnan. And he came on stage and blew me away with the blues that he played on his acoustic guitar. And I wanted to meet him. My stepmother encouraged me to go backstage at the theatre, try and get backstage and meet him. And we did, we got backstage. And I met Chris Finnan, shook his hand, and I was going to ask him, do you do guitar lessons? But he beat me to it. He came out and said, glad you loved it. Do you want guitar lessons? I was like, yeah. So a week later, I was, learning guitar off Chris Finnan, and he became my blues mentor. After those lessons with Chris Finnan, I wanted to go out and do gigs. And I made a demo tape, and I contacted a few venues. One got back to me, and I went and met them, and they gave me a gig the next night. And that was the first of many. I ended up playing around Adelaide in different bands and met amazing people. And it started a band with my sister, Abby. And 20 years of doing that in Adelaide, I decided, I think I need to try somewhere else, branch out. So I moved to Melbourne because I'd always loved Melbourne. And when you're in Adelaide, you visit Melbourne and do gigs in Melbourne and go back. But I just didn't like the going back part. So I moved here. The business I decided to start was guitar repairs. I started from home in my lounge room. And the reason for that was, just by being a musician and trying to pay the bills, I was jumping from all sorts of different jobs, and most of them were working in guitar shops, and I accrued a lot of knowledge about guitar repairs while working in those shops. So I decided that I'll throw myself in the deep end and start a guitar repair business. And it worked out. I've been, this business has been bankrolling my passion, which is playing music.
Is playing music your first love?
Definitely. Yeah, music's my first love and always will be. The guitar repairs, pay the bills. But yeah, the goal is to play music as much as possible, really, and have fun. Repairing guitars is enjoyable and is rewarding. I find it rewarding. Look, I'm lucky to be surrounded by guitars, and I think working on them to support my passion, which is playing music, is a good thing, because when people come and pick up their guitar and they're just stoked to get it back sounding and playing beautifully, that's really rewarding. So there's something in that.